So these two young student athletes have come in every single day and given everything they can to EHS volleyball. They are leaders, they inspire their teammates, they have contagious laughter and energy, and most importantly, they are two great people with extremely high character who are getting ready to go out and accomplish great, great things. I do not have nearly enough time right now to go on with their accomplishments or even maybe embarrass them a little bit, I don't know. I don't have time for that, we'll save that for the banquet. Okay, but I will tell you this, and I genuinely mean this. The thing I will miss most about both of these two student athletes is their contagious laughter and smiles. And they come in and they make all of these kids stand up here every day, laugh so hard, and everyone in our program, and I mean, even in the locker room like 5 minutes ago, I was laughing extremely hard. I won't say what we were talking about, but it was hilarious. All right, so at this point, I would like to announce Veronica Beltz, who has some words for Otto.
Yeah, Veronica!
Autumn, being on this team with you this year has been amazing. We have worked together a lot this season, and it was such a great experience. You really pushed me to be better in many aspects of volleyball and life. We play defense together, and you encourage me to do my best and be a good teammate. I can always hear you cheering me on, and I always cheer as loud as I can back for you, and we know how loud that can be. We always talk through our mistakes together and figure out a plan when things aren't going our way. You always know when I'm getting in my head and know exactly what to say to get me out of it. When you yell my name, I somehow know exactly what you want from me. You show the team how to have fun whether we are on or off the court. You always bring a positive, energetic vibe with you, and that's one of the things I love about you. Although being hilarious isn't the only good trait you bring to Erie Volleyball. You're so talented. You make everything look so effortless, but everyone knows you work so hard for everything you do. When things get tough, you don't back down, you accept that it's going to be difficult, and you fight through it with your head held high the whole time. I admire who you are both in volleyball and in life. I'm so thankful to have met you and played with you. I can honestly say you were one of my favorite parts about this season. Erie will miss you, but specifically me, I will miss you.
Nice job, Ronnie. All right, next we have Sophie Crawford to say some things about Maya Michelson.
Maya, I don't even know where to start. When I first walked into the Erie Volleyball program, I knew you as this amazing tall middle who was pretty much the best player on the team. I was super intimidated by you for the first 2 years, but then when I came to know you this past season, we immediately clicked. You stood by me in times when I needed it. You're kind, you're smart, you're strong, and you're absolutely hilarious. Anyone can make you smile, many people can make you laugh, but it takes someone really special to make you smile with tears in your eyes. And that someone is you. I can't even count how many times we laughed so hard it hurt, and how many times we got distracted and were cracking up. You stand up for yourself and others when you feel it is needed, and I love you for that. There have been numerous times when we have sat in your car and listened to blasting music and don't care about anyone or anything around us. Those moments will never be forgotten. I cannot tell you how much I'm going to miss you next year, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do without you. But I know you're leaving to do better things, and I'm beyond excited for you. I am so glad I joined volleyball because if I didn't, I would never get to know the talented, sweet, tough, hilarious, and outgoing volleyball player named Maya Michelson. I love you so much, and I hope you love college. I miss you.
Nice job, guys. So real quick, first I want to bring Autumn up here. Autumn, this is one of my favorite pictures of you. All right, so I want to present that with you. Congratulations, kiddo. And then Maya, there were some really good action shots and some good faces, but I figured blocking is one of your best talents, so congratulations. And then to all the parents standing here, you have done outstanding things with these kids, and I can't wait to see all of the things they go out and do, because this is just the beginning of their journey. So I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication to our program, and most importantly to those two standing up there. So thank you.
And that was a little taste of senior night here in the Erie Gym as we are getting set for this matchup between the Erie Tigers and the Skyline Falcons. Well, welcome in, everybody. I'm Brandon Bird. And we've got senior night. We've also got some other festivities here tonight. It's going to be a fun night here in what is amounted to be a packed gym. And now the seniors are getting a standing ovation from fans and parents, including Maya Michelson, who will be going on to play Division I volleyball at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And so what a great sight it is in here tonight. Also, Nancy Tanaka is why they're standing right now, because this could very well be Nancy Tanaka's last volleyball game as an assistant coach. So we'll talk more about that as the night goes on. Tonight's really a celebration of the seniors and Coach Tanaka, and the Tigers should have a good chance to win here tonight. Skyline coming into tonight 0-18. They've only won 4 sets, so should be a good night of volleyball here. We are going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have more action here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Hi, my name is Caleb Humble. You're watching the Erie Tiger Network.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter.
I just wasted all my breath. Everything I said. Oh, you're on the wrong scoreboard. Go clear and then click volleyball. And welcome in. Sorry, we brought up our football scoreboard from the... I got to do something real quick. if you're watching, we're just making sure our stream is healthy before we say a whole lot more because it keeps going down and we're wasting a lot of breath here on the Erie Tiger Network. So bear with us. We're just trying to make sure that the internet connection here is smooth. That's what's been our issue so far tonight. Well, we think we're good, so we're going to go ahead and continue. No commercials, none. Just update the scoreboard. And we are not going to go to commercial tonight. Try and keep the stream as quiet as possible, if you will, in terms of the computer activity that goes on. We'll monitor, and hopefully things will keep working out, but it was 9-5 when Skyline took a timeout. Then Erie scored 9 straight points. And then it was 18-5, and now they're up 20-6 here in set number 1. And it's been a good set so far here for the Tigers. Now back to serve is Jesse Amond. Amond will fire into the back row. One hit back onto the Tiger side. Bump pass on the Skyline side, but Julia Webb couldn't quite handle, and so that one goes spilling into the net now. 21-6 Erie, a good start for them. Jesse Amond back to serve here in set number 1. And just a little bit long, that one's out the back. Brandon Bird here with you. Jaden Chambers is our producer here tonight. Running the camera is Kylie Colcup. This one is a floater into the back row. Belts, back set. Kreitz into the net, though, as Kreitz was lining up to tee off and then just got a little bit too much on top of it. Now here comes the serve from Skyline into the back row. Belts miscues. Good track down by Amon. And then Kreitz will pass over a third time. Pretty good hit. And in fact, it caused a mistake at the back by Dunder. And another Tiger point. They lead it 22-8. Now Sydney Kreitz back to serve here for Erie. Sydney will float this one in wide. Sorry, just thought that one was going to land in it first. Then a good job leaning out of the way, reading that one was Hannah Bolitho. And now the down official wanting to chat things over with the table, as I'm not sure what's happening there. So here we go. This one pounded long, and so 23-9. Not sure what was going on there with the scorers table. But now Autumn Purcell. She were able to serve twice. The senior could serve out the set. That one in toward the back row, and Autumn Purcell with the ace. And the Tigers have set point here in set number 1. So Purcell, the senior again, floats this one into the back row. Set toward the net, miscued, and that will do it. The Tigers take set number 1, 25-9. We're just going to turn down our mics here for a moment, make sure that all our stuff on the stream is still working. But a good first set here for the Tigers. And welcome back in for the start of set number 2, or we're very close anyways. It'll be Sophie Crawford, Maya Michelson, Megan Casillas in the front, and occurs Sydney Kreitz and Jessie Amon in the back row here on, well, we've tried to bring this up on our stream a couple times, and then our stream went down. It's senior night. We were trying to play that for you at the start, and then, well, it's also potentially the last game of Coach Tanaka's illustrious career. There will be a little ceremony here. I don't think she knows about it here between sets 2 and 3. She's been around this program a long, long time. The Tigers have been lucky to have her. Packed house here tonight for both senior night and to honor Coach Tanaka. A lot of former players have showed up that played under Coach Tanaka in order to honor her, and so that's a cool thing to see. Players that go back well beyond my time. Of course, I've only been here 3 years, so it's a cool thing to be able to see some of the alumni come back, and that Coach Tanaka really made an impact, not only to them as athletes, but in their personal lives as well. So thank you so much for joining us. When we did try and start up the broadcast, Erie 14-7 on the year. They are 7-6 in league play win tonight. We put them at 8-6 and right in the mix to be in that top 3 of the Tri-Valley. Kind of depends on what berth it does. And then Erie in RPI as well. They're 18th right now, and so see if they could climb up a little bit here, get into a better seed, and hopefully go into a region this year, and for the first time in a long time, qualify for state. So that could be pretty awesome here. We'll see what transpires as Autumn Purcell back to serve it up here for the Erie Tigers to lead off the senior. Erie easily took set number 1, 25-9. And Autumn Purcell, by the way, she is wearing the libero shirt tonight, usually worn by Veronica Belts as she serves an ace. And feel a little bit for this Skyline team, 0-18 entering today. And they actually were up on Erie 5-4. And then a timeout was called, and since then it's been all Erie. Another point there for the Tigers. Purcell back to serve again. 2 serving nil into the back row. That one's bumped up toward the front. Set into the middle. Hit down and in, and a good job that time by Jenny Dunder, the 5'11 sophomore. Pretty young team here for Skyline. Only 2 seniors, just like Erie. A lot of sophomores, though. Erie's pretty much a junior team with Jessie Amon, the only sophomore to play a set this year for the Tigers on varsity. As Michelson will run it long into the back row. Back set, far side. Cross-court hit, drops in there for a kill from Hannah Bolithio. And Bolitho ties it back up for Skyline. And now back to serve is Abby Stoops. Stoops, a sophomore. And a rotation violation on Erie is a point for Skyline. And a timeout called here by Coach Creek. We'll stick right here, though, as we make sure we just monitor our stream. Everything appears to be going okay. Once again, the soccer team in action tomorrow at 3:30. We're going to try to bring that one live to you on the Erie Tiger Network, except the fact that it is playoffs. And so, unfortunately, and, you know, have been pretty committed to bringing you free content this year. CHSAA and just the way they've set things up, they pretty much have a monopoly on the playoffs and what student broadcast systems can go. You have to stream through the NFHS network, or you have to pay a $300 fee per game. So that is the reason we are broadcasting on the NFHS network tomorrow. We hope in the future, maybe sometime next year, we can start getting some sponsors that will pay those fees to bring you those games. And so that is the story behind that. Figure you deserve to know as fans why it is that we broadcast playoffs. It will be the same way during volleyball playoffs. If we get deep enough, we've talked about potentially paying for those rights to broadcast a game. So we'll see. We just want to make sure we spend our money wisely here. Good dig there by Kreitz, and it's hit over by Crawford. Man, I thought I heard that one hit the floor, but they say that one was dug out there. And an Erie point, it's 3-3. And now Skylar Small back to serve here for Erie. Back onto the Erie side, and Small couldn't quite dig it out that time. Mentioned earlier, the Tigers will be in Colorado Springs later this week. As that one is floated in the back row, dug out, set up. Michelson leans back, taps it over. Now set up back to the far side, blocked at the net. Back onto the Erie side, and Michelson overcooked it and sent it long. So 5-3, Skyline with the lead here. And another rotational violation for Erie. And right now, it's losing a little bit of focus is this Tiger team. So Veronica Belts will come in. And Skyline with a 6-3 lead. Skyline has only won, I believe, I'll have to double check this, 4 sets. Yep, 4 on the entire season. And that one is played into the net. So the Tigers scuffling here a little bit in this one. In set number 2, they're down 7-3. Now played over to Belts. Set up. Michelson hammers one down and pings it off the floor.
Score 4-7. Back to serve for Erie, number 7, Maya Michelson.
Now this one played toward the middle, hit over. Michelson picks it up, set up here by Eamon. Far side for Kreitz, and she swings and drills it home. By the way, that we were correct there. There are 12 seeds in the state regionals for volleyball. And so Tigers unlikely to host a region, although they're getting somewhat closer up to that 12th spot, as that one was hit hard down and in by Kurz. And now the Tigers have cut that deficit down to 1. Michelson still back to serve here for Erie. And that one was miscued in the back row, and an ace for Michelson. Michelson again floats one short, dug out, set up, back row. That one played into Belts. Eamon sets up far side for Kreitz, a big swing, and she drills it in there. And so Sydney Kreitz really starting to get in a groove here in set number 2. As Michelson back to serve, Erie takes their first lead here in this set. As we mentioned, 12 teams make regionals. Erie right now the 18 seed, as there's a rotation violation again on Erie, and that is the 3rd one tonight. And I haven't seen that all season, but I've seen 3 in one night, and that's causing a little bit of confusion. as it were right now, Erie sits 18 in the RPI. They would take on Longmont, who's 17-2 in their region. It'd be Longmont and Berthoud, FYI. So that would be a region that would truly be regional, but it would be a tough one for sure. I think Erie hoping to climb up a little bit, maybe a chance to take on Thomas Jefferson. Now set up, far side, big hit by Kreitz. That one's dug out in the back row. Skyline on the attack now. Near side set, hit over by Lindauer. Tigers trying to keep it alive, and now played over nicely that time by Purcell on the third hit. That gets the crowd into it a little bit. Dug out there by Small. Set up by Amon. Far side for Kreitz. She blasts it off the net, and it drops in there for a Tiger kill. Now Megan Casillas will check in here. As Jesse Amon back to serve. Amon scans the floors, and another rotation violation. That is the fourth one tonight.
Back to serve for Skyline, number 12, Hannah Volleyball. Score now tied at 9.
And Tigers just kind of looking at each other a little bit sheepishly. A little bit lack of focus, I think. Now Kreitz smacks into the net. Another point here for Skyline. Skyline retakes the lead. By the way, Discovery Canyon, they are sitting 20th, so it'll be a good chance for Erie to continue to kind of climb up here in the volleyball standings. Now back set, punched over with the right hand by Kreitz. Set up here for Skyline. Near side set, hit down the line. Good dig there by Amond. And then Autumn Purcell misfires, and the Tigers down by a couple points. And now it's Hannah Bolitho back to serve, one of the two seniors on this Skyline team. This one floated in toward Purcell. Amon backs at near side. Kreitz will just tip it on over. A little off tempo there from Kreitz, and accurately dropped it right in front of the back row. Erie back to within one.
Back to serve for Erie, number 9, Sydney Kreitz.
And now Sydney Kreitz to serve. Tigers in the correct rotation that time, but the serve was long. Brandon Bird, Jade Chambers, the producer. Kylie Colcup, the camera person here this evening. That one is whistled into the net. And we'll give Erie the ball back here. Now Belts will sub in for Casillas. And another rotation violation. And I don't think Coach Creek agrees.
Serving for Skyline will be number 8, Julia Webb. The score 11-13.
And Erie's got to figure this out. They've given away 4 free points in this set due to rotation violations.
One, we need a huge turnout. We need the 12-man to show up for that game. Also, if you have not seen it on the Twitterverse, 9 News Sports is offering the Erie Meat Game as one of the games of the week this week. Make sure you get on, vote.
And still some confusion here. Maya Michelson chatting with the down official. Hannah Kerr's a little bit confused. Now the official coming over to the table. And thinks they're all set up. And that serve is long, so they'll get the point. I mean, Erie.
The score of 12-13. Skyline subs in number 13.
Trying to discuss.
Erie's number 3, Autumn Purcell serving.
The official checks in. He's scanning the floor, and okay, we're good again there. Hopefully Erie has that sorted out, but now a net violation. Or excuse me, a double hit on Skyline. Gives Erie another point, and now a timeout for Coach Creek. Well, it's been a weird set. A couple stoppages. No one's quite sure what's happening with the rotation, but Erie still in the thick of it here in set 2, 13-13. Of course, they lead 1-0. As a pretty full gym tonight. Of course, we expect a really full field on Friday as Erie takes on Meade. That one will be kicked off at 7 o'clock. We'll try and get on the air a little bit early. And Tigers trying to sort things out here in this timeout in terms of who is where in the rotation and just try and get things all focused. As Tiger fans starting to get into this a little bit more here. Coach Creek using the full length of her timeout. You know, I have not seen Erie fall out of rotation much this year. It seems like when teams fall out of rotation, they just kind of continue to fall out of rotation. Now, Jesse Amon going to talk to the chair umpire. Now, Amon going to talk to Coach Creek. This is the most unusually paced set of the season. All right, here we go. Amon, by the way, she's just got captain's blood into her future. You can tell the way she commands the floor. Only a sophomore, but one of the leaders of this team in just body language and mental toughness. Erie starts celebrating a little early, and then they had to regroup as Skyline got it over, and then a touch of the net. And Erie point. They lead at 14-13. Now Autumn Purcell back to serve. And that one is miscued on the back row, and an ace there for Purcell. 15-13 lead now. This one dives in there for another ace by Autumn. And Autumn right now on senior night, maybe having one of her best games of the year. Purcell floats a knuckler into the back row, miscued. It actually hit off of a head. I don't think the official saw it. Now set over to Michelson. She hits it. Good dig out that time. Near side set, cross court hit high up into the rafters. Amon sets up Crawford, far side. That one is hammered into the wall and down on the floor for a Tiger point and a kill by Sophie Crawford. So Purcell will stay on serve here. Tigers' biggest lead here of set 2, 17-13. Purcell drops another one in there toward the net. Back set into the middle. Hit right into the chest of Belt. She plays it and now hit into the corner and nicely placed there by Sophie Crawford. Didn't rocket it or anything, but accurately dropped it right in the corner. And now Purcell again. I'll play this one into the back row. Set up far side. This one drops right between Kreitz and Purcell, who kind of jump into each other's shoulders there. They're both okay. First point there in a little while for Skyline, and that will send Julia Webb back to the service line. Now let's really hope that Erie has their rotation sorted out. Belts passes in toward the net. Tapped over on one hit by Amon. Kept alive by Skyline, and a good hit leaning backward was Hennessy. And Molly Hennessy drops it in there. Another sophomore for Skyline. Abby Stoops will serve that. Tips off the net. Good dig there by Kreitz. And Michelson backed up thinking that Amon could get to it. She could not. And Amon just couldn't quite get underneath there, and a point there for Skyline. So back to within 2 here in the set. That one is floated. Belts will play it. Amon sets up for Michelson, who touches the net. And Skyline to within 1. Remember, they've only won 4 sets all season long. And they're within 1 point here. Stoops again. Floats it into the back row. Belts sets up far side, and nice hit by Crawford. Picked up, though, by Skyline, and Belts had to reach over her head and stab at it. Now Michelson leans back and hits it. Off balance shot picked up by Skyline. Good dig that time by Purcell. Crawford with the angled shot. Good dig there in the back row by Skyline. That was Hennessy. Now Kreitz with it. Amon sets up Michelson, who touches the line. And the Tigers dust off that long rally with a Maya Michelson kill. Now Skylar Small will check in here and serve it for the Tigers. Small hammers that one into the back row. Played by Skyline. 3rd time over and long. And just misfired. When you're running to the ball, you need to hit a little softer as your momentum's carrying yourself through the ball. Opposite when you're going away. Now a little tap up. Hit over. Michelson. Kreitz back to Michelson. Hits into the wall, blocked, and a good block that time out of the middle by Skyline, and they keep within chase here. By all metrics concerned, this one should go by pretty quickly for Erie tonight, as they'll pick up a point there. Bolitho read it well, just miscued the shot or the block. Now Maya Michelson will float one in toward the back row. Played in toward Amon, who crushes it down off the hardwood, and the Tigers pick up a point. 22-18. And it feels like the Tigers have figured out their rotation issues. Now Michelson blasts one and an ace, and Skyline, that's been their downfall tonight. They have had a lot of trouble handling serves from Tiger servers. 23-18. Now Erie comfortably ahead, and a timeout coming from Skyline. Well, fans, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can like the Erie Tiger Network Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Net, or check us out on erietiger.network.com. By the way, we will have a new student online news website coming called the Tiger Times. Go to erietigertimes.com. Not quite up yet, so don't go there today. We are working on launching that site. We are working actually with a group that, puts together high school newspaper websites, and so we should have that up and running within the week. We're hoping to launch by tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. That will enhance your Erie Tiger Network coverage. And then we'll have video stories, image carousels, all kinds of fun things for you on the Erie Tiger Times. So be on the lookout for that. So now serving it up here is Maya Michelson, and she'll float one in toward the back row. 23-18, Erie leads, 2 points away from dusting off the set. Blocked at the wall by the Tigers. Dug out there. Skyline on the attack. That's Bolitho, and a little double hit. 2 touches on Bolitho, and that will put it at set point here for the Tigers in set number 2. Tigers take a 2 set, and then we're going to stick right here as we will honor Nancy Tanaka. That one floats in there, and too many touches, and the Tigers take it 25-18. At this time, we're going to crank up our mics so you can hear Mr. Paul Stasina and Miss Molly Krieg deliver a message that honors Coach Nancy Tanaka. They'll start that here in just a moment.
All right. I'm not sure if you guys are sick of hearing me talk yet, but in the case that you're not, we have one more extremely important person to honor tonight. Okay, student section, calm down. All right, so like I said earlier, tonight is just a small token to say thank you for all that Coach Tanaka has done. Yes, let's hear it. She keeps telling me thank you, and I keep saying this is nothing compared to everything that she has done for all of our students over the last, how many years? A long time, yeah. I was interviewed a few weeks ago for the Tiger Times, and they do a great job with podcasts and broadcasting our games. And I was asked about the impact Coach Tanaka has had on our program, and I had to pause, honestly, because I can't speak to everything that she's done, and I've only worked with her for a little over a year. I said, you'll have to ask all of her former students and coaches that she's worked with and players, and I think just the way this gym has filled up is so clear. So once again, I want to thank you all for being here. Let's give it up for Tanaka one more time. Female role model, especially in athletics, coach and educator for our community. I've been so humbled to coach next to her for the short amount of time that I've been here, and I'm honored to be up here tonight as I see all of you have come to support Coach Tanaka. Now, after doing some number crunching with Coach Fox, we came up with the following numbers. Tanaka has coached upwards of 600 student athletes on her teams alone. She has also tallied at least 800 wins, which is absolutely remarkable. And the most important number, Tanaka has impacted every single student and athlete in a positive way. There's no question about it. Everybody that has come across her absolutely loves her. And no matter when her last match will be, or if it already happened, I hope you remember how important you have been to Erie and for everyone here, plus all of those that called and wrote. So I want to thank you again. I also want to invite Coach Tanaka up here to just say a couple of words.
Thank you very much. I'll try to keep it together. I feel very honored that all of you are here tonight to help me celebrate. It's been an amazing ride, for sure. I told Coach Krieg and Coach Fox I just wanted to quietly walk out the back door, but they had a different plan. They invited the whole state. So, but anyways, my life was forever changed 30-some years ago when I took this coaching job in the little town of Erie. It was now very big. I think there was probably about 25 kids in each class at the time. But I have been very fortunate to work with so many wonderful people. All my former and present students, coaches, parents, staff, administrators, ADs, game workers. Thank you very much. It's been, I can't even put into words, it's been really awesome to be here. Thanks Paul too, he's been with me a while, announcing the games, singing, what have you. I really appreciate all your support. And lastly, thank you to my family and friends who have supported me all these years. I'm gonna miss all this. Thank you.
Well, a special moment that you got to witness there as we honored the outstanding coach here for the Erie Tigers, Miss Nancy Tanaka, and so many of her former players here, a lot of them with tears in their eyes as they are so appreciative of all that Coach Tanaka not only has done for this program, but as we said earlier, has done for many in their personal lives and their academic work, and she's getting a lot of hugs from former players right now, and so good to see out of what good has come out of the fact that we've had Coach Tanaka here in this program. Well, the Tigers lead it 2-0 here on senior night, and emotions running a bit high here in the gym, as last night for a couple of special seniors, including Maya Michelson. This is the last time we imagine that she will play a game in this gym. And what a 4 great, wonderful years it has been, watching Maya Michelson continue to just absolutely obliterate the volleyball. In fact, if you look at the career numbers for Maya Michelson coming into tonight, 723 kills in her 4 years of playing on varsity. She had 36 her freshman year, but each of the last 3 seasons, her kill numbers have been over 200, and they've continued to climb. In fact, I believe tonight she is either real close or has eclipsed the 250 kill mark on the season. So we're certainly going to miss Maya Michelson as she pounds one into the floor there, right on cue. Maya Michelson has a career 45.9 kill percentage, over 50%. Her hitting percentage at 45%. Cut her errors down, a total of 33 errors this season. She had 33 errors her freshman year in 50 sets played. She's played 63 so far in this season. 75 aces. She's added to that total a little bit tonight as well. 132 blocks. So just wanted to read those numbers, as it is special to watch. Not often do you get to see a D1 athlete, but Erie has been graced with that here the last couple years. Rio Sanchez in softball, now pitching for Central Arkansas. In football, I imagine that Noah Roper, assuming he can stay healthy, will be a D1 football player. And Maya Michelson, a D1 volleyball player. Heck, even Jack Bradford, a D1 fencer. And so as he went to the Ohio State University. So gotta love that. A lot of good athletes coming here through Erie the last couple of years. Erie trails at 2-3 here, though, in set number 3. As this one is floated in toward the back row. Purcell to Casillas. Sets up Michelson, who rips it into the floorboards off of the arms of a blocker, and it's 3-3 here in set number 3. As that one is struck well and put away for Skyline. Skyline hanging tough here in last set and so far early parts of this set. Now Bolitho will float this one to the back row, played by Purcell. It'll be Casillas near side. That's Kreitz. Man, what a good hit that far from the net, and then Kreitz just comes up, reaches over, doesn't touch the net, gets all of the ball, and knocks it down for a kill, or a Tiger block, I should say. Now Amond will wait to serve here. A sub coming in here for the Falcons. As that one is dumped into the net. Now this one hammered into the back row. Purcell cues it, and Casillas almost flew into the scorer's table. Tigers not playing so sharply here in set number 3.
Harry brings in number 13, Sophie Crawford. Score 5-6, number 9, Sydney Kreitz serving for Erie.
Sorry about that. Our stream just lagging a little bit, trying to figure out what's going on with that. 6-6 here. All square in set number 3 as Crawford angles it into the back corner. Dug out nicely that time. Set back up and swung and hit. Blocked down and out. Hennessy with the kill, the sophomore. Been about one of Skyline's best players here tonight. Now Julia Webb, the senior, will check in. This one into the back row. Set up Amon near side. Crawford will zip it into the back row. That's dug out nicely again. Skyline will just cozy it on over a third time though. Amon sets near side. Crawford hit it off the side of her hand, and it worked out effectively as that one was mishandled by Bugarian. And a point there for the Tigers. Now Purcell, the senior, back to serve. This one really well struck, almost mishandled there. And Skyline will have a good third hit over, and Purcell won't be able to handle that. It was almost mishandled off the serve by Stoops, and then she got it back and she thumped it right into the chest of Purcell. Now Stoops again. Good serve. Handled well by Kreitz, and Michelson just delivered it home with a rocket off the right hand. And Erie all square here in the set again at 8 apiece. Now Megan Casillas will just near the side, set back up. Tapped on over toward the net. Just hammered down and in by Michelson. Now Megan Casillas serve it here for the Tigers. Good low zippy serve, and then just hit over on the Tiger side again, and right there again. I think that was Sophie Crawford that time. just pounded it down and in. So timeout for Skyline. We're going to stick right here, but we'll step away for a moment here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Fran Bird here with you. Former Erie principal Steve Payne visiting the table right in front of us as he has come bearing a card for Coach Tanaka. As we said, Coach Tanaka, she is very unassuming, very soft-spoken, humble, but her impact is not gonna noticed. And I appreciate the impact she has on kids. I know just the way the kids talk about her. You can always tell what kids think of certain teachers, and their eyes always light up when they talk about Coach Tanaka, and very known for her badminton prowess across the years in PE class. Well, Tigers lead at 10-9 as Michelson bulleted one down. Good dig out that time. Now Casilla sets up near side. Crawford angles across corner. That one will be mishandled and an Erie point. Wasn't quite sure what they called at first. Now Belts on to serve here for Erie. 11-9. Tigers on top here in set 3, trying to get the sweep of Skyline. Now set up into the middle. Believe though. Will deliver it to Casillas. Down near side. Kreitz off the blockers. In toward the net. Set up far side, and that one's into the net off the hand of Lindauer. Lindauer, an error there. That will give the Tigers another point. Another sophomore. Every time I look down the Skyline roster, it's another sophomore that's in there. Set up far side, and that one is hit off the top of the net. And no, they will say that it was I believe, a net touch or net violation on Erie. So Skyline point brings it back to within 2. Now this one floated in, set up near side. Kreitz hits it off the net, but gets it to drop. A lot of torque on that hit. Teammates say that Kreitz hits it harder than anyone else on this team. Now this one floated in toward the libero in the back row. Set up near side. Believe though, that one's blocked at the net. Skyline scrambling, and Lindauer just delivered it right square into the net. Skyline trying to stay positive here. As we mentioned, they have only won 4 sets all year. It's been tough. If you've played sports at one time or another, you've probably been in that situation, as Kurz will dig. Casillas. Hahn will blast one down and in. So Haley Hahn getting some action here in set number 3. Now Kreitz will play to Hahn, and then leaning back and just hammering it home again was Kreitz. And Tigers will have another year of Sydney Kreitz. She just plays like a seasoned vet. And a timeout called here by Skyline. 17-10, Erie on top. Well, This is the last regular season home game of the year. Last time we will probably see Maya Michelson and maybe Coach Tanaka and Autumn Purcell on this court tonight. Couple seniors on this Tiger roster. They are 4th right now in the Tri-Valley. Erie 14 games won on the season, and well, they still have this. You got to figure it'll be win number 15 on the night for them. They won 15 last year as they went 15-10. In 2015, they won 16 games. So a chance for them to, if they could win tonight and then win one more, they will have won 16, and then they win one at regionals. That would be their 17th win. I'm looking back to see the last time the Tigers did anything close to that. Remember in 2012 under Coach Abby Hicks, they went 2-20. Went 9-12 the year before. Abby Hicks was coach for a while here, and as far back as Max Preps goes as 2007. And there were no winning seasons before 2015. So Coach Fox certainly deserves some credit. Of course, this area continues to grow. A lot of good athletes. All the sports programs continue to build into each other. That's the one great thing about high school sports. As that was a runner that was blocked at the net. Now Purcell will check in, and Bolitho will go back to serve. Erie went 7-7 in league play a couple years ago, 6-8 last year. They could go 8-6 this year and finish with a winning record in league play for the first time in a long time. And you got to imagine they will do that here tonight, up 18-11, as that one is a net violation on Haley Hahn. So down to a 6-point lead here for Erie. Floated in. Casillas will set up. Hahn delivers a absolute rocket and puts it away for the kill. So 19-12, back up to a 7-point lead. Tigers 6 points away here from breaking out the brooms. This one angled in toward the libero. That's Sierra West, and then a point on another net violation. I think they're calling that one on Sydney Kreitz. Floater in toward Belts, almost mishandled. Good pass by Kreitz, and flying in was Casillas. It was dug out nicely by Skyline, though. Now they'll play it to the far side. That's Hennessy into the back row, off the rafters, pinging around. Now Hahn will settle underneath. She'll play it over third time. That's West. Set up, far side. Hennessy will play it over. Good dig that time by Ahmed. Now near side, Kreitz will unload, and a net violation that time. And they'll call that one on Stoops. And a 7-point lead once again for Erie. Only 5 points away from Pater. As Kreitz dropped in a good serve. That one's up on the sound absorbers up in the rafters. Now Amond serves it, or sets it near side, and that one just smoked into the floor by Sophie Crawford. 21-13. Kreitz again. And miscued on a lift call, as it was kind of passed by Boogerin. And now 22-13. Tigers in command here in set number 3. Boogerin will set up near side. Stoops. Good dig by Kreitz. Set up for Crawford. Angled it and put it home. Lindauer couldn't handle it, as that had some zip on it. Now the Tigers up by a touchdown and a field goal. 10-point lead here for Erie. High jump serve, and they're going to call a service fault on Sydney Kreitz, saying that she touched the line on her jump. And now Julia Webb will angle that one right to the line for an ace. Tigers let it go. Just touched the line. Squeezes back to an 8-point game. Only 2 more points here for the Tigers to put this one away. Amon sets up near side. Crawford hammers it off the blockers and in, and it is match point.
Skyline brings in number 13, Jennifer Steele. Back to serve for Erie, Autumn Purcell.
Now Purcell will float this one into the back row. Near side, angling. Purcell for Amon. Michelson plays it into the blockers, and so Skyline will live to see another point here.
Number 12, serving for Skyline, number 6, Abby Stewart.
Tigers could end it here. Michelson. And you'd love to see Michelson end it for the Tigers. Last chance, Maya Michelson. Can't get that one to go. And that one is misfired on. I think Erie, they want to feed Michelson one last time here on this floor. I think that was the game plan. 24-17. Amen to Michelson, and she will finish it off. A great career for Maya, a great night for the Tigers. They win it 25-17. Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Tigers win in 3 straight sets on senior night. We also honored Coach Tanaka. We will see you for our next broadcast of Tiger Sports. That one will be on the NFHS network. I believe we're going to try and work that out anyways. Always difficult for us to broadcast from Niwot.